topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Barry G. Fowler, EA, brings you Tax Talk for You right here on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. As an enrolled agent and a national leader in tax resolution, as well as trucker, bookkeeping, and tax planning with over 30 years of experience, Barry will break down taxes, bookkeeping, tax planning, and tax relief for individuals and businesses just like you. So let's have some Tax Talk for You with your host, Barry G. Fowler.
Good morning and welcome, man. It's great to be back in the office. Last week was a busy week for us, here. We've been going through a conversion of software that we used for bookkeeping and stuff. We're transitioning completely away from QuickBooks and moving to software called Xero, Xero. Really good software. We're at a seminar on Friday all day, learning a little bit more about Xero and the tools we can use to help all of our businesses out there be more successful and get them the financial information that they need to be able to run their business and be successful. And so that's a great week to have this show of, trucking to success. And, here at Trucker Tax Tools, we do a lot of bookkeeping for truckers, obviously, and we want to see them be successful. And, when we're talking about being successful, you got to start from, how do you start and run a successful commercial trucking company? Running a business, regardless of whether you are, going to be a trucker, whether you're going into consulting, whether you're going to go retail, whatever it is that you enter into, it's not an easy thing, an easy task to jump out and do and be successful just because you decided you're going to go into, business. There are many, many successful business owners, successful truckers, many people that are successful in business working for somebody else. But not everybody has what it takes to run a successful business or a successful trucking company for that matter. I love when you sit here and you run questions on the internet, and now they have this wonderful, AI who's going to answer, questions. And I sit here and look at it and go, hey, the question I put in was, what is a successful trucking company? And it first came back with, like FedEx, a couple of the real large businesses out there, Old Dominion, Yellow, XPO, Schneider, just to, name a few. And they're sitting there saying, hey, these are successful examples of successful businesses and stuff out there. It wasn't what I was looking for. They're saying these companies are successful, such as, FedEx, UPS. They have high revenue, strong employee bases, and efficient operations. But is that what you're really entering into when you're first getting into the trucking business? No, you're a single owner operator, and you're looking to be successful being out there by yourself. I looked over the weekend preparing for this show a little bit of successful business owners. And one of the other ones that came up was an owner of a gas station. Yeah, believe it or not, they're talking about how an owner of a gas station became very successful. And that success was because of his drive to be successful. He found his niche within the gas station business to become one of the biggest gas stations, not just in Texas, but now he's expanding across the country. And that is Buc-ee's. Could you imagine owning a gas station and becoming a multimillionaire off of gas? It's all the other products and everything else he puts in his store. It's almost like going to an amusement park just to watch the people that are going into the store. Now, I admit, I get gas at Buc-ee's, and that's great. I hate going into their store though, because of how many people are in the store. So I will avoid those stores on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, unless it's first thing in the morning on Friday or something, because of the people that are there and the massive number of people. But he's been truly successful, not because he got out there and ran one gas station, but the drive to be successful. And so, here you're going to run a successful business in the trucking business. And speaking of being successful in the trucking business, one thing that does help is being a member of OOIDA, Owner Operator Independent Drivers Association. And there's a lot of other good associations out there as well. But OOIDA, if you're looking to get into the trucking business and be successful, puts on a seminar coming up at the end of October called Truck to Success. So you can go to OOIDA, search for OOIDA Truck to Success, and you can come up with this seminar. It comes up in October, I believe the 22nd through the 25th. Matter of fact, I'm going to be there talking about bookkeeping, taxes, lease purchase, business entities, all those things. And then they're going to be talking about everything else that you need to know to be successful in the trucking business, getting your own authority, all these things that come to play when you're in the trucking business. But, continuing on, what does it take? And what are the traits of a successful trucking company? Well, one is going to be having excellent equipment, reliable equipment. A good trucking company needs quality equipment. You have to have reliable trucks, well-built trailers, updated safety equipment, quality communication tools, plenty of maintenance devices to keep everything working properly, and the availability of excellent equipment can make or break your trucking company. If you can't keep the truck on the road, there's no money coming in. Matter of fact, it's only going out. When you've got to shut down and you don't have your equipment available, guess what? There's no money coming in the door. You also got to know what's happening in the market. These day and age, fuel costs have gone here. They haven't come down completely yet. Equipment costs were up here. Load prices has been pushed down because people get in this business and they think they have to take a load just to keep the truck running and on the road. They don't look at what the profitability of that load is. If truckers would take the time to look at these loads and know, this is my cost per mile, this is what it costs me to have this truck on the road, here's my cost if my truck is standing still and doing nothing. So how am I going to make money in the business? By taking loads that exceed your cost per mile. See, just having a truck on the road and running doesn't guarantee you're going to make a profit. All it guarantees is you're going to have additional expenses. That's all it does. So to build a successful trucking business, you need to keep an eye on the market at all times. Make sure you're setting the right rates. Plan for your future. make adjustments to your operations and to your business plan by keeping that pulse on the market, using trade magazines, news sources, podcasts such as Tax Talk for You. Matter of fact, connect with us at taxtalkforyou.com. Follow us over there. Never miss an episode. And maybe you just learned something to help your business run a little bit smoother. Having connections within the industry as well. Getting to know people that also do the same thing you're doing and how to be a little more efficient in running your business makes all the sense in the world. Kind of like the meeting I was at on Friday for Xero, getting to talk to other people that are in our business, finding ways to make us operationally more efficient helps our bottom line. Yeah, we're going to be making changes and making things better for you, our clients that are truckers. And if you're not a client of Trucker Tax Tools, man, you should be. Great rates, great people, great communication. This is what we get to do to help you in the business. Now, when you're keeping that pulse on the market, don't forget to go back to a business plan you should be writing as you're getting started to go into the trucking business. That business plan is your guide, is your Bible, is the route you need to take to make your business successful. You don't head off on the road without programming where you're going in your GPS. You shouldn't head off on the road without programming where you're heading with your business. Hey, we're going to keep talking about what makes the traits for a successful trucking company or business owner right after this.
We have only scratched the surface of today's show. Please stand by as Barry G. Fowler will be right back with Tax Talk for You. If you owe the IRS or are going through an IRS audit, don't go at it alone. Call Taxation Solutions Tax Relief at 888-930-1016. We are your solution for IRS debts, audits, back taxes, garnishments, liens, and levies. Whether you're an individual or business, you need a solution and a strong, aggressive tax resolution. Don't let the IRS walk all over you. Stop the IRS now. Call 888-930-1016 or go to taxationsolutions.net now for a free, no obligation consultation. Let's get back to Tax Talk for You with more Tax Talk. Once again, here's your host, Barry G. Fowler.
Hey, I kind of love sitting here talking on the radio and telling you guys and helping you become successful and being successful in your business. And sometimes it's about customer service, relationships, with your vendors, with the people you're transporting goods for. Maybe it's a logistics company, maybe it's a broker. And sometimes, you might find a good broker out there that doesn't charge you very much. And hey, that's great. Get a good relationship with them. You might find a company that you're transporting for, like one of our clients transports cattle, and he's got a great relationship with the people that he transports cattle with. So, they probably pay him a little bit more for him to take the loads and stuff. So, being oriented around customer service, kind of like Trucker Tax Tools, we're oriented around you and communications with you, keeping you abreast of things that are going on in the industry, but also following up with you to make sure that we've got everything so you've got good books to run your business. And so maintaining good customer relations is critical. If you know what customers like, what helps their business, and what drives them nuts, or just basically pet peeves to avoid, hey, you can establish great relationships. Getting to know, Jimmy and a little bit about him. Maybe his kid plays baseball. Maybe they love fishing. Maybe they love the outdoors. Maybe they're ranchers. Maybe, whatever it is. If you know a little bit more about them, you can establish more personal relationships with those people so that you're the first one on their list to call if they need a load transported or taken somewhere. Or maybe you're getting in where you transporting loads for these people every single week, and maybe you find somebody at the other end where you're transporting the loads back, and now you've got great business going back and forth to different locations to help you become operationally sound. And one thing we always tell people is you should keep a reserve, keep some operating capital on hand for those emergencies. If you're not good at saving money just because your bank account looks really good, set up a couple of different accounts. Set up an account that's for maintenance, set up an account that's for your taxes, or set up an account that's more of your escrow or reserve account. But you can do it yourself and make money off of it and keep money aside for those emergencies. At all times, your trucking company should have that kind of emergency fund that'll cover at least 3 months of expenses. That way, if some reason, work is a little bit slower or the loads aren't paying quite as well and you don't want to take the loads and put the wear and tear on the truck, or payments get delayed, you've got the wherewithal to do it. Because if your truck's still sitting still, you're still got to pay for insurance and other costs, make your truck payments, pay your family bills. So 3 months is a good target. 6 months is even better. A year's worth would be wonderful. Put money aside, especially for those emergencies as well, where maybe that truck goes down and you got to pay for major, repairs and stuff. Now we talk about somebody being in the trucking business, being about safety is important as well. Yeah, you need to be efficient, you need to be frugal, but you're never going to cut corners on safety. Depending on the size and needs of your company safety program, may include regular training and training like OOIDA puts on, and some of the things that they do to help you in business. If you have other people working for you, in-house safety programs are great. If you've got multiple upon multiple trucks, having a safety department or safety-minded people working for you, you're more likely to last in the business. And, one more thing, if you're expanding your business, and the same we do in our business, we hire slowly. And then we're looking for employees here to be here for the long haul. Turnover happens. It's just the way it is. Somebody's going to pay more to attract good talent and take your talent from your business. But, it's not about just getting a warm body and putting them in the truck. It's getting a person that has the same ethics, same mindset as you, that is willing to go the extra mile to help you in the business and make not just them profitable, but hopefully make your business profitable as well. Employee turnover can kill you as a company. And while employee retention in any business can help you become successful and help you to run the business more smoothly. Finding people this day and age to, work sometimes is hard. It's hard in our business to find people that have the talent and the drive to want to do what we do for our truckers. And, we go the extra mile to help, and being able to go through to do that helps you in your business and helps us in our business, because we're here to try to help you be successful. Now, we can't help you be successful by installing drive into you and the desire to go out there and hoof it and make more money. Those are in you, in your heart, before you ever get started. See, I always say some people are meant to be in business. Other people are meant to have somebody else drive them in business. So, when you're sitting there talking about the drive to be in business, are you willing to go through and go the extra mile to find the places to get your loads, to get out there and move it and not take the time off? Whereas if you're working for somebody else, you got somebody that's hounding you to get you to go to drive, because you're going and going and going. Hey, Al, we got a great question here. If you were talking to someone who is thinking about going into trucking, would you suggest a stepping off point? Where, other than schooling, would a person start to know if this was a career choice for them? Well, first off, if you're thinking about going into trucking, might be sitting down talking to some truckers. It's a good place to learn a little bit about what they do, besides just driving, out there on the open road. Do you love to drive? Can you handle being out in a truck 24/7, as many days as you can possibly be out there on the road? And you've got to follow a lot of rules, Department of Transportation, there's a lot of other things that go into this. But what you might do is go and get your CDL. So you're going to have to go through some training. That may be a starting point where you get out and you start to see, hey, do I really want to do this? Can I drive the truck? Truck driving is not for everybody. And then maybe take a W-2 job for a year or two. Get your feet wet. See, is this for you? Before you spend the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you're going to spend to get a truck, get a trailer, get started, get all set up, learn everything you need to do. And then from that point, once you decide that this is the place that you need to be or want to be, then, then maybe you go to OOIDA's Truck to Success seminar and you learn the ins and outs of running a trucking business and what you've got to do. One of the benefits of coming to a seminar like OOIDA's Truck to Success, you not only learn the ins and outs of everything in the business, but you get to meet some of the great people at OOIDA. You get to sit down with me and learn more about taxes, bookkeeping, and the financial side of being in business. And then you get to meet and greet and talk and network with other people that are looking to do the same thing that you're looking to do. And you've got some contacts out there. So those are the places that I would start, and then keep moving from there. Now, when we come back, we're going to continue talking about trucking to success. How do you get out and start your own business in the trucking business? And you can apply this to every other business in the real world. We'll do that right after this.
We have only scratched the surface of today's show. Please stand by, as Barry G. Fowler will be right back with Tax Talk for You. As an owner-operator, you already spend too much time away from your family. Trucker Tax Tools handles all your bookkeeping and taxes, no matter what level trucker you are. Life on the road can be taxing, but that doesn't mean that your wallet or time with your family should suffer. Trucker Tax Tools makes your life run smoothly. Go to truckertaxtools.com for a free guide that will give you the tools to never worry about your taxes again. Call Trucker Tax Tools 877-966 62477 or go to truckertaxtools.com now and let the experts keep you trucking. Let's get back to Tax Talk for You with more Tax Talk. Once again, here's your host, Barry G. Fowler.
Hey, welcome back. I love questions. If you're looking to get started in the trucking business, this is a great place and a great forum to put your questions out there, and I'll answer them the best I can. And those that I can't, maybe I'll refer you to OOIDA, and you can get the answers over there. One thing to do is make sure you get your membership to OOIDA so you have the tools necessary to help you in the business as well, and great contacts over there. So we got a question here from Greg. Do you get taught the DOT rules, that's Department of Transportation rules, and what to know in the trucking schools? Well, the trucking schools, if you're talking about getting your CDL, I'm not sure everything that they will teach you or train you in the trucking school. But I'm pretty sure they're going to give you some of the regulations that you've got to follow as a trucker out there. I know Truck to Success teaches a lot of the Department of Transportation rules and regulations you've got to go through and follow as a trucking business. So getting over to Truck to Success is well worth it. I will say this about Truck to Success. I've met a lot of great people that are over there. There's a lot of people that have come to this seminar and decided this isn't the right path for me, which is a great lesson to learn for a trucker, that, hey, this may not be the right path to go down. I don't want to have my own authority, or I don't want to be running a business and have other drivers. That maybe I just want to go and be a leased on driver somewhere, or maybe I just want to stay W-2 because it's easier or better. Those are all valuable lessons that you can learn at Truck to Success when you're actually learning about the trucking business and everything it takes to run this business, especially before you put your investment into the tractor and trailer out there. Because those are big investments and you're tied to those loans. Now, you're getting started in this business, it's about financial stability. It's about financial. It's about keeping close eyes and close watch on your bottom line. And that starts as you're starting the business and you're putting that business plan together. And you're going out and let's say you're going to buy that new piece of equipment. When you're buying that new piece of equipment, make sure you read what you're signing when you buy it. So you're going to go get it financed, or you're going to have a lease. You've got to read those agreements. I think one of the funniest things at Truck to Success, when we're talking and we've had some of the people at IDA talking about how, the lease purchase is good or bad. The walk-away leases, you can walk away from your lease at any time. You're going to be leased on to this company and they're going to lease you a truck as well. So now they got you coming and going. And then, oh yeah, don't worry about it. Here you are, and next thing you know, the loads are slowing down, coming towards the last year of the lease, and now they're taking the truck back from you. So watch and read. Not always the smartest place to go is to lease your truck from the company that you're going to be driving from, especially when they're holding the purse strings and giving you the routes and giving you the loads. So you may have to watch some of those things there. But I will tell you, maintaining good financial practices, having Trucker Tax Tools do your bookkeeping and your taxes, helps you track your revenue and your expenses. And it becomes very crucial to be able to look at that and read that for your long-term success. And, maintain that adequate working capital that we talked about a little while ago, and reserves, so that when those ups and downs happen, you've got more money. So if you've got a big upside, it's a great time to put more money away for when that eventual downside is going to be. Because, maybe the freight fees have shrunk a little bit, or now, fuel costs have risen a little bit, or insurance costs went up higher, replacement costs, repair costs, all that inflation and everything that you're running into right now, you've got the wherewithal to overcome that. And then optimizing your profit margins. Understanding and actively managing factors like, revenue per mile, cost per mile, loaded mileage, not deadheading, helps maximize the profitability of your business. So did you catch that? Managing factors like revenue per mile. How much are you making per mile? What is your cost per mile? What is your loaded mileage? So, how are you going to maximize your profitability? Hey, we've got a great worksheet that we get from OOIDA on cost per mile. Love to give that to you. Hey, connect with us at taxtalk4u.com. Message us through there, or go to truckertaxtools.com or Facebook page. Message us there. We can get to you the cost per mile worksheet so that you can work through what is your cost per mile and make your business more successful by monitoring the revenue per mile, your cost per mile, your standard cost for sitting still. Hey, we've done some great things here at Trucker Tax Tools, and one of the things has been this great transition we're making away from in-house QuickBooks to the new software we're using, Xero. We have modified our financials. We think it's great. I can't wait to see what some of our clients say about the financials we're now producing, because we have now been able to, with the new software, move things around to more of direct costs. So the costs that you have while you're on the road, moving your load from point A to point B, and then indirect costs that you're going to have every month, basically standing still, interest expense, professional fees, meals and stuff. These are costs out there that you're going to get. And we put per diems down here in the administrative cost side because basically that's just your meals while you're on the road, but it's not truly a direct cost of running your truck. So you're going to have, the direct costs up above the line for such things as fuel, tolls, scales, fuel surcharge. So there's a lot of great things that we are actually doing in our business that is there to make it better for you and help your business. And then you'll be able to see some good, financial reports that you'll be able to look at and understand your business. And so I'm trying to bring up here a real quick income statement that we look at. So we've got everything from gross trucking revenue to reefer fuel surcharge, stop fees, toll pays, unloading fees. And then we got the cost of service, maybe DEF, fuel, mileage charge, reefer fuel, tolls, scales, truck maintenance costs, all these things that you have out there for your cost of service. And then you have all your administrative type costs, such as your bank fees, dues, subscriptions, insurance, licenses, parking, supplies, truck lease, maybe uniforms out there, professional fees, fuel tax, heavy highway tax, and then travel and stuff. So you can see we itemize things very well so you can help look at your business and see what your business is doing. Hey, Sally, thanks for the question. Is bookkeeping counted as a professional service? Absolutely. And it's tax deductible. So you get the benefit of having a professionals like us doing your bookkeeping for your trucking or your business. And then being able to deduct that and save money on it because it is a tax deductible service that we do provide. We've got a few more questions coming in, which I really love. So, get those questions to us, and then we're going to get to those questions right after this break.
We have only scratched the surface of today's show. Please stand by as Barry G. Fowler will be right back with Tax Talk for You. As an owner-operator, you already spend too much time away from your family. Stop spending time doing paperwork. Go to truckertaxtools.com, a solution built specifically for truckers. Truckertaxtools.com makes your life run smoothly. Let's get back to Tax Talk for You with more Tax Talk. Once again, here's your host, Barry G. Fowler.
Hey, great questions coming in today. So keep those questions rolling in and we'll get those questions answered because this is about you. This is about trucking to success, and it doesn't matter whether you're in business, in the trucking business, or you're in any other business. These things are important to you and your business and being successful in business. Hey, we got another question that just came in. What other types of businesses have costs and fees? If you're in business, you have a cost, you have fees, you have expenses. Some of the other businesses that we do relate to, farm and ranch, relate to daycares. Families of our trucking companies do all kinds of businesses out there. Production business, you name it, do it, but they have costs. You maybe have a cost of labor, contract labor, staffing. You may have automotive expenses, mileage. So if you have your personal car and you're driving to or from the store to pick up stuff for your truck or for your business, maybe you're going out to meet with a client or a prospect out there. That mileage is all deductible for your business. Dues and subscriptions you do for the business, or maybe membership to an organization. If you're renting equipment that you use in the business is all deductible. Of course, your insurance that you pay for becomes a deductible business expense. Again, professional fees. Getting your taxes done, your bookkeeping done, are all deductible expenses. If you have rent an office building and you have janitorial expenses, those are tax deductible. Telephone, even a portion of your cell phone that you use in the business all becomes tax deductible. One of the things that we talk about at Truck to Success to make you successful in the business is all the ordinary and necessary costs of doing business. You got to think about your business in a different way. It's about getting every tax deduction you can possibly find that relates to your business. Now, the IRS says it has to be ordinary and necessary in your business. Your cell phone is necessary in your business. Now, how much is it used in business versus used for personal? You kind of got to look back at the bill. How much are you calling your significant other or other family members that aren't necessarily working in the business, but you're just communicating with? And then how much are you calling your suppliers, calling your broker, logistics, bank, things that you do for business in business, and making sure that you've got the things that you need to get the deduction so that you're saving money on taxes. See, one of the biggest expenses anybody has that's in business is taxes. Taxes, taxes, taxes. We're always hit with taxes. And so it's about managing your finances to minimize the tax as well. So it's kind of a misnomer. We want to maximize profitability, but we want to minimize tax. And you got to remember, just because your bottom line has $100,000 at the bottom line, and you're going to get taxed that. If you're self-employed, you get taxed 15.3% right off the top for Social Security and Medicare. Now, minimizing that will also help profitability. So if you were able to find $10,000 of additional expenses, saves you $1,500. So, that becomes kind of important, because at the end of the day, it helped your bottom line. It may have been things that you've been paying on the personal side that relate to business, but you didn't think about how they relate to business. And we need to get them over here to where it is a pre-tax item, not some item you pay after tax. Hey, Britt, good question. Should you have a separate phone line for business? Yes, no, maybe. Separate phone line for business is something you can advertise now. If you are growing a business, and we're talking specifically about a trucking business, but I'm going to relate this to other businesses as well. If you're out there and you're going to be the only driver in your trucking business, your personal phone line, your business phone line can merge and be one and the same. Now, remember, that cell phone you're using for business is only going to be a portion deductible, but it can be used because you're not out there. Now, let's say you want to go out there and compete with J.B. Hunt, and you're going to have massive number of truckers running for you. Or you're going to run 10, 15 trucks. You will probably want a line that is dedicated for business and business only. A line that you can actually put the business name on so somebody can find you. Thus, if you're running on a website and everything else, you might want a second phone line, for that. Or maybe you're going to start running an office and you're going to want a voice over IP system that has the mobile apps that you can answer the phone anywhere. Then maybe you've got the office phones, but it can be run on an app on your phone as well. So we do that here at Trucker Tax Tools. We got voice over IP, but we can answer the phones that come in through our phone service provider. And we can also answer on our cell phones through their app. So, it not necessarily a separate phone, but it does have a separate phone number for the business. And we can answer these things through the apps out there. And that's kind of leveraging technology, which can help you in your business, whether you're using fleet management software, real-time tracking, communication tools, things that enhance efficiency and aids in compliance and stuff. Now, that's really nice in any business that you have, because if you're running a business, embracing technology sometimes is the way to go. So we were at the Zero meeting on Friday and looking at new technology and new integrations with our software to better service our clients and provide more efficiency so that we can make things smoother and easier for not just our staff, but our clients as well. So as we go through additional transitions and making things better, maybe adopting some new innovative technologies, some new AI-powered optimization tools, things that we are doing in our business to help you, you can use and do in your business. Maybe something like alternative fuels or ways of, wind resistance and things like that can help you in the business and get better fuel mileage out there as well. So looking at operational efficiencies and prioritizing safety, managing your finances, and having a strong culture of safety and strong customer relationships are all things that you should be embracing when you're in business, regardless of whether it's a trucking business or any other business. It really helps you promote your business and keep in business, not just today, but down the road. AI is wonderful. So I'm sitting here looking at this and I thought, hey, what is some things we can do with AI, or how can trucking firms use technology to cut fuel costs? And AI came up. I hate to say things are always listening to you, but they always seem to be. Have you ever noticed when you talk about vacuums and next thing you know, everything through Amazon or you're seeing online is going to come up vacuum? Sorry, I didn't mean to pollute your phones with vacuums this week, but hey, when that comes true, message me next week that, hey, you talked about vacuums and all I'm seeing is vacuums on my phone. So you're welcome. But we're talking about, how do firms use tech to cut fuel costs? Route optimization is one. Minimizing mileage and time. AI sometimes in GPS can analyze factors like delivery locations, traffic, road conditions, vehicle constraints to create the most efficient routes, cutting down unnecessary mileage. Having real-time traffic integration. So it's integrated with real-time traffic data. The software can dynamically reroute vehicles to avoid congestion. My wife does that for me, by the way, when I'm on the road. So I don't use AI. I use her smarts to find us routes along the road when we're out driving. And then using something like predictive analytics, they can use historical data, external factors to forecast demand and traffic patterns. Kind of cool. Telematics, real-time monitoring and driver behavior analysis and help you get better safety improvements. This is kind of fun, looking at what AI comes up with. Aerodynamic designs, lighter weight materials, engine and transmission efficiency, fuel saving technologies, alternative fuels and electric trucks. Good luck with electric trucks, by the way. But hey, if that's what you want, hey, go for it. I avoid them. I prefer my F-150 being on gas, and when we look at the F-250, it'd probably be on diesel. Hey, we're coming to an end of a great show. I mean, this time went fast. Again, connect with us at taxtalk4u.com. Go to our Facebook page, like and share, get it out to other truckers and other people in the business. Definitely go to Trucker Tax Tools. We're running great promotions today for bookkeeping and tax work. Get with us there. Call us. Let us get started. Go to truckertaxtools.com. But above all, you need to be right back here at Tax Talk for You every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, W4CY Radio. You can hear our podcasts, iHeart, Spotify, you name it, it's hosted there. We have it all available to you to learn more, to help you run your business more smoothly, find those operational efficiencies, decrease the amount you're going to pay in tax by finding every deduction allowed by law. That's what the name of the game is. Saving money, keeping more money in your pocket, keeping it away from Uncle Sam. Hey, we'll see you next week. Yeah, but God bless. Glorious and awesome week. Stay safe. And all truckers, thank you for what you do. Thank you to our military and police again, and fire, those that are in the service industry. Have a God bless. Everyone have a God blessed and glorious week. And we'll see you next week right here, W4CY Radio and Tax Talk for You.
Are you an individual or business that wants to understand taxes and how they affect you? Are you looking for specific tax advice for self-employed, business owners, and truckers? Are you behind on taxes and your bookkeeping? Are you dealing with the IRS and ready to have some relief? Then you need Tax Talk for You, hosted by tax and trucker expert Barry G. Fowler, EA. Tune in 10 a.m. Eastern Time every Monday right here on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Don't forget to check this and past episodes at taxtalkforyou.com. See you next week at W4CY.com.